Hey y'all, today I'm going to talk about triggers. 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 What is triggers simply defined? It's a flashback of a trauma from your past. It's a setback. It's debilitating. It puts you on pause. It deadbolts you to the ground. And so when you have traumas from your past and you're triggered, it's because you didn't deal with it. It was too painful to look at, too painful to deal with, too painful to get past. And so you kind of defaulted to a bad relationship with food, drugs, shopaholic, because you don't want to deal with the trauma that has happened in your life. So today I want to talk about triggers. When I was 11 years old, I had become to be 346 pounds from something that happened that started at age 11. I was molested at age 11 and couldn't deal with it. And then 10 years later, I got married very young, 21 years old, and I was physically abused by my husband at the time. And so you have sexual abuse, then physical abuse. And so as a result, I developed a bad relationship with food. And that's how I became to be 346 pounds. I'm no longer 346 pounds, but I became 346 pounds. Why? Because when I was triggered because of a trauma in my life that occurred in the past that I couldn't deal with, I developed a bad relationship with food. Let me say that again. I became 346 pounds because when I was triggered because of a trauma that happened in my past that I didn't want to deal with, I developed a bad relationship with food. And as a result, 346 pounds. And so dealing with triggers is not a bad thing. And so I encourage you to deal with what's going on in your life. Because if you don't deal with it, then you're going to develop bad habits. You're going to, and especially if you have an addictive behavior, a traumas plus an addictive behavior or triggers plus addictive behavior, it doesn't work too well. Anything, even if you don't have an addictive behavior, I encourage you, to deal with what's going on in your life. When triggers come, deal with it. Don't succumb to bad relationship with things, because when you have bad relationship with things, bad things can occur to you. So that was just my 101 lesson on triggers. Don't be triggered because of traumas that has happened in your past that caused you to have a bad relationship with things. Deal with the things that has happened in your past. Don't be ruled by your past. You rule it. You have dominion. You have power. If you can't afford it emotionally, don't give it away. I'm going to say that again. If you cannot afford it emotionally, don't give it away. What do I mean by that? And this is my last tip. If you are an enabler because you have a loving heart, enabling is not good. You are an enabler because you believe that you can fix everything. And then when you need help, when you need to be fixed, and who you enabled can't fix you, then you're triggered. You become angry, and then you default to bad behavior, be it anger, resentment, bitterness, and developing bad relationship with things. So don't be triggered. Deal with it. Don't sweep it under the rug. Deal with it. Don't pass it by. Deal with it. If it's too painful to deal with it, find someone to talk to. Don't be a non-communicator. Communicate. Because if you don't get rid of it, it's going to consume you. And you are not made to be consumed. You are made to be fearfully and wonderfully and pay it forward for someone else. So don't be triggered. Deal with it. That's my lesson today on triggers. Have a good day.